Today, I'm going to share the books and resources that I used for my entire IELTS preparation journey. I already posted a video about my IELTS results. I got overall 8, and I have also posted a video on the writing section. If you guys have any further questions, you can ask me in the comment sections, and I will try to make a detailed video. So the first book that I used for my IELTS preparation is called The Official Cambridge Guide to IELTS. It has both the academic and general training module. This book is really helpful for beginners, especially for those people who are trying to prepare for their IELTS on their own without seeking any help from any coaching centers or any mentors. It is divided into different tasks, so you can just go through all of the tasks that you find difficult or not easy for you to understand, and it also has some practice tests. So after completing everything, you can try to do it on your own. For each of the sections, like the IELTS listening, reading, writing, and speaking, you can see that there's all of the information that are needed for any candidate to know about what this test is about and how much time is given to each sections. You can try to read it if you don't have any kind of knowledge about the IELTS academic section or the general section. It will give you an overall overview. This book also has some test tips which you can use to improve your scores, and I also use these tips to improve my scores further. And also for this part, for the listening section, this book doesn't have the CD that is supposed to be provided with it. It is said that it will come with a DVD ROM, but I didn't get it, so I used Google to gather all of the listening sections and practice on my own. So you can try to do it on your own. The reading section of this book, it has also different kinds of question patterns that are necessary for anyone to understand the reading sections. For example, if I talk about the multiple choice questions, I would suggest you guys to practice this passage segments before switching to the official Cambridge IELTS academic books, because in these books the reading passages are quite long, as you can see. And if you don't have any before knowledge about the IELTS section, then it would be quite frustrating for you if you try to solve it at the beginning stage of your IELTS preparation. So I would tell you to switch to this one before practicing the original questions. And after you notice that you are getting used to the question patterns and you can solve different questions, then you can try to practice the Cambridge IELTS Academic with answers. Okay. Here comes the most important books that are necessary for any IELTS candidate to improve their scores and also get used to the question patterns. This Cambridge IELTS Academic. I bought these books from the nearby library. I brought the Cambridge 11 to 19. You can try to practice these books on your own, and this will also help you to get used to the question patterns. So I would suggest you guys to practice, start your practice from this section, then proceed to the next ones. Don't try to solve the last one at the beginning stage of your IELTS preparation, because this is the most latest one, and try to do it like the 1 week before your exam, because this book has the question patterns that will be included in your main IELTS exam. So try to do it at the later stage, and this is also one of the hardest IELTS books, and also the practices are also kind of difficult. So try to do this one at first, then proceed to the next one, and at the last stage revise these books again and again, because these question patterns are similar to the main IELTS exam. And for the writing section, I used this book. As I mentioned before, this book is provided from the coaching center that I was admitted into. I used this book. It has the real exam questions. You guys can try to watch the video that I recently uploaded. It has the real exam questions, and I used to read lots of sample answers from this and practice on my own. I used only this book, and if you guys don't have it available in your area, then you can also try to read a book. It's called Makkar's Writing. It is also very good, even though I didn't read it on my own. I have heard lots of good reviews about this particular book, so you guys can try to read it and try to get the sample ideas so you can generate your own answers. Now, for the speaking section, I used this book. It's called Makkar's IELTS Speaking Guesswork. When I bought this book, it was the latest version. I think it has newly published another version, so try to use the latest version that is available, and don't try to memorize the answers from this book, because this book is only for you to gather knowledge and also generate ideas. Try to read the sample answers and generate your own ideas using your own vocabulary. It has some high level vocabularies which you can try to use both in your writings and your speaking section, but memorization is a big no for me. Because don't try to memorize the answers, because I I think everyone knows that if the examiner knows that you are delivering a memorized speech, then they will deduct your marks. So don't try to deliver a memorized speech. Try to generate your own ideas. And yes, there are lots of cases where people say that they got the same questions from this book, but I would suggest you guys to use your own ideas and express in your own way. I didn't get the opportunity to read this book, that's why I didn't mark it that much. Most of the time I practiced with ChatGPT, and I would ask it to give me a band score, a feedback, and a revised version. I used that answers most of the time. And also, what you guys can do is make a separate notebook for yourself where you can write the vocabularies that are unfamiliar to yourself. Then after completing the notebook, try to revise it again and again.